You know that voice in your head that says, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm too tired today? That voice is your biggest enemy. Every single time you give in to that voice, you chip away at your future success. But you also have the power to flip the script. You have the power to break through that resistance and choose consistency no matter what. And here's the thing, it's the small, consistent actions that will move the needle in your life far more than any one big breakthrough or sudden moment of inspiration. Consistency isn't easy, it's not glamorous, it's not sexy, but it is the foundation of everything you want to achieve. Think about it, if you commit to taking just one small step forward every single day over time, you'll end up so far ahead of everyone else who waited for motivation to kick in. Most people quit when the going gets tough or when the excitement fades, but you're not like most people. You have the ability to push through, to keep going when no one else will, because that's where the magic happens. It's in the grind. It's in those moments of doubt when you feel like stopping, but you don't. It's in the daily decisions that others won't make, and that's where your power lies. It's time to reframe your mindset. Consistency isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up. It's about doing the work, even when it feels like you're not seeing results right away. Because believe me, every time you show up, you're stacking the odds in your favor. Each action compounds on the last. And that's how you build momentum. That's how you build success. Think about self-discipline for a moment. It's not something you're born with, it's something you develop through repeated action. The more you force yourself to stay consistent, the easier it becomes. At first it feels like a battle, but eventually it becomes second nature. It's like lifting weights for the first time. At first it's hard, but over time you get stronger. You don't wake up one day and have an iron will. It's built through the daily grind. But let's be honest, there will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when the last thing you want to do is show up and do the work. And that's okay, that's normal. Growth happens in those moments of discomfort, when you choose to show up despite the resistance. When you push through, you're building not just your skill, but your character. Now, here's where you need to make a shift in how you approach your goals. Don't obsess over the finish line. Don't let the size of your goal overwhelm you. Focus on the process. Fall in love with the journey. When you shift your focus to the daily actions, to the small victories, the big picture takes care of itself. You stop stressing about the outcome and you start trusting in the power of your own consistency. That's when you really begin to see the transformation. I want you to think about your routine. Your routine is your armor. It's the system that keeps you on track when motivation fades. That's why successful people don't rely on willpower, they rely on the power of their routine. If you create a system, a set of non-negotiable actions you take every single day, you remove the need for motivation. It becomes automatic. It becomes non-negotiable. And when you show up every day, you give yourself no choice but to succeed. But let me be real with you. Consistency requires you to be your own biggest cheerleader, but it also requires you to be your own toughest coach. You've got to push yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. The days when you're not feeling it are the days that matter most. And when you show up in those moments, you build confidence, you build strength, and you prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you think. And remember, this consistency equals control. The more consistent you are, the more control you have over your results, your life, your destiny. If you want to take control of your future, then take control of your future, then take control of your actions. Commit to doing what you know you need to do every single day, because your future isn't built on what you do once in a while, it's built on what you do consistently. The power of consistency lies in its ability to transform ordinary actions into extraordinary results. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success comes from one big breakthrough or a single moment of inspiration. But in reality, lasting success is built on the small, repetitive actions you take every day. Each time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're creating momentum. Over time, those small, consistent efforts stack up and create massive change. It's the difference between someone who achieves their goals and someone who doesn't. One person understands the power of showing up, even when it feels mundane or monotonous, and the other waits for motivation that may never come. Think about the compound effect, the principle that small, consistent actions add up in a way that creates exponential results. A little bit of effort every day may not seem significant at first, but over weeks, months, and years, it compounds into something extraordinary. This is how habits are formed, how new skills are mastered, and how you build resilience. The power of consistency lies in its quiet persistence. It's not about the hustle or the flash, it's about doing the work, day after day, with no expectation of instant results. The more you commit to showing up consistently, the more control you take over your destiny. The world rewards consistency because it's the one thing that separates those who talk about their dreams and those who turn them into reality. Overcoming resistance is one of the biggest challenges on the road to consistency. Resistance comes in many forms: doubt, fear, fatigue, and even the simple discomfort of doing something difficult or unfamiliar. It's that voice inside your head telling you to take a break, to delay your efforts, or that it's not the right time. Resistance is the force that tries to pull you away from your goals, making you believe that progress is harder than it actually is. It's the feeling that you don't have the energy or motivation to continue, or that the task in front of you is too overwhelming. But here's the truth: resistance is a natural part of growth. It's a sign that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, stretching your limits and moving towards something greater. The key is not to avoid it, but to push through it. Every time you overcome resistance, you gain more confidence in your ability to persevere. Think of it like lifting weights. The first rep is always the hardest, but the more you push through, the stronger you become. The resistance you face today is the strength you'll have tomorrow. The most successful people aren't those who never face resistance. They are the ones who have learned to push through it, to show up even when it feels difficult, and to continue making progress despite the discomfort. Resistance doesn't go away, but with each step you take in the face of it, you build the mental fortitude to keep going. The more you face it, the less power it has over you. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of consistency, and yet it's often misunderstood as something innate or reserved for a select few. The truth is, self-discipline is a skill that anyone can develop with practice. It's the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in the face of temptations and distractions, to stay focused on what truly matters. It's not about being perfect or having superhuman willpower. It's about showing up, doing the work, and making the right choices consistently, even when it's hard. Developing self-discipline starts with small actions. It's about creating habits that align with your long-term goals and sticking to them even when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting. It's the discipline to do what needs to be done when you don't feel like it that sets you apart from the rest. Discipline is the muscle that grows every time you choose the harder path in the moment, whether it's waking up early, pushing through a challenging task, or saying no to distractions. The beauty of self-discipline is that it compounds. The more disciplined you are in the little things, the stronger your discipline becomes in bigger tasks. The more you practice self-control, the easier it gets to make disciplined decisions without second-guessing yourself. You don't need to rely on willpower alone. By setting clear goals, building a routine, and reinforcing positive habits, you create an environment where discipline becomes the natural response. In time, it becomes part of who you are, an automatic part of your character that propels you toward your success. The compound effect is one of the most powerful principles in achieving long-term success, yet it's often overlooked in a world that craves instant results. It's the idea that small, consistent actions repeated over time can lead to massive results. This principle works in both positive and negative ways. Every choice you make, no matter how small, compounds into something larger over time. A healthy habit consistently practiced will eventually lead to a healthier body and mind. On the other hand, small negative habits like skipping workouts or procrastinating accumulate into a larger pattern of inaction or poor results. What's remarkable about the compound effect is that it doesn't require drastic changes or massive efforts. It's about doing the right things day in and day out, even when you don't see immediate results. Think of it like saving money. If you consistently save a small amount each month, over time, that money compounds and grows into something significant. The same is true for your efforts. Whether it's reading a book every day, exercising for 20 minutes, or working on your skills in small increments, each action builds on the last. The compound effect works because it's cumulative. It's easy to underestimate how much small, consistent efforts can pay off over time, but when you stick with them, the results are exponential. Success isn't always about dramatic actions. It's about showing up, doing the work, and trusting that the small efforts will add up to something extraordinary. Focusing on the process rather than obsessing over the goal is one of the most effective ways to maintain motivation and build lasting success. While goals are important, they give us direction and purpose. It's easy to get lost in the future outcome and forget the importance of the daily actions required to get there. When you focus solely on the end result, you often set yourself up for disappointment, frustration, or burnout, especially if you don't see immediate progress. Instead, shift your focus to the process, the daily work, and the small steps that contribute to your larger goal. The beauty of focusing on the process is that it brings you into the present moment. It allows you to concentrate on what you can control right now, rather than worrying about what may or may not happen in the future. When you embrace the process, you take pride in the journey and showing up each day and in the effort you put in, regardless of how far you've come. You stop measuring success only by the final outcome, and instead you start celebrating the wins along the way, the consistency, the discipline, and the small victories that ultimately shape your path. This mindset shift helps you avoid the trap of impatience. By focusing on the process, you learn to love the daily grind, to find fulfillment in the effort itself, and to trust that your consistent actions will lead to the results you desire over time. The journey becomes just as rewarding as the destination. A mindset shift is essential if you want to cultivate lasting consistency in your life. Most people wait for motivation to strike before they take action, but this approach is unreliable and can leave you feeling frustrated or stuck. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like a wave, but consistency is built on habits, and habits are shaped by a mindset that prioritizes action over feeling. The key is to shift from a mindset that relies on bursts of motivation to one that is grounded in discipline, commitment, and resilience. Rather than waiting for inspiration to show up, train yourself to act regardless of how you feel. It's about deciding every day that you will do what needs to be done, even if you don't feel motivated. Over time, this shift will rewire your brain to associate consistency with progress. When you stop relying on fleeting emotions and start relying on your ability to take consistent action, you free yourself from the cycle of highs and lows that come with motivation. This mindset shift also involves viewing challenges and setbacks as part of the process, not as roadblocks. When you adopt the belief that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and grow, your approach to challenges changes. Instead of being defeated by setbacks, you become more resilient, more resourceful, and more determined to stay consistent. This shift in perspective doesn't just help you stay the course, it helps you grow through the journey, making you stronger and more capable with every step you take. Embrace the suck is about learning to find strength in discomfort, to push through the inevitable tough moments instead of avoiding them. It's a mindset that acknowledges that growth, progress, and success often come through challenges and hardship. When you're on a journey toward a goal, there will be times when it feels difficult, exhausting, or even unbearable. Your body and mind may want to quit, but that's exactly when you need to keep going. The reason this concept is so powerful is that it reframes the way we look at discomfort. Instead of seeing struggle as something to fear or avoid, you begin to see it as a signal that you are growing, that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone, and that you're on the right path. The suck is where the magic happens. It's where you develop grit, resilience, and mental toughness. It's where your character is forged. Most people quit when it starts to feel hard, and that's why they don't reach their full potential. They want the rewards without the work, the ease without the effort. But the ones who embrace the suck are the ones who build the muscle of perseverance. They learn to keep going when every part of them says to stop. It's in these tough moments that you learn the most about yourself, how far you can push, what you're truly capable of, and how much stronger you are than you think. The more you embrace discomfort, the easier it becomes to push through it the next time. Accountability and routine are two of the most powerful tools you can use to maintain consistency in any area of your life. Without accountability, it's easy to let distractions, excuses, or even the smallest setback derail your progress. When you make yourself accountable, whether to a mentor, a coach, a friend, or even to yourself, you create a sense of responsibility that compels you to show up. Knowing that someone else is tracking your progress or that you have made a public commitment raises the stakes and helps you stay committed, even on the days when motivation is low. And equally important is building a solid routine. A routine creates structure and eliminates the need for decision-making, which often leads to procrastination. When your actions become habitual, they require less mental energy, allowing you to stay focused on your long-term goals rather than getting bogged down by daily choices. Your routine should be non-negotiable. It should be a part of your life that you commit to without question, just like brushing your teeth or getting dressed. The more you follow routine, the more automatic your actions become, making consistency much easier to maintain. Together, accountability and routine act as a safety net. Accountability keeps you focused, reminding you of your goals, while routine provides the discipline to make progress, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. This combination helps you overcome the resistance that can pull you off course and ensures that you keep taking small, consistent actions toward your big goals. Self-talk and belief play a critical role in your ability to stay consistent, especially when challenges arise. The way you talk to yourself influences how you approach tasks, how you respond to setbacks, and how you perceive your own potential. Negative self-talk, thinking you're not good enough, doubting your ability, or telling yourself that success is impossible creates a mental barrier that makes it hard to push through obstacles and stay on course. If you constantly reinforce thoughts of failure or inadequacy, those beliefs will shape your actions and ultimately limit your success. On the flip side, positive self-talk is a powerful tool that fuels your resilience. When you speak to yourself in a supportive, empowering way, you create a mindset that expects success, embraces challenges, and welcomes growth. Telling yourself, I can handle this, I am capable, or every step I take gets me closer changes the way you show up in your daily actions. This belief in yourself doesn't make the journey easier, but it gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. Your belief in your ability to achieve your goals is also crucial for consistency. If you don't believe it's possible, you won't put in the effort required to get there. Belief is the foundation of action. When you believe that your efforts will pay off, it becomes easier to keep going day after day. Strengthening your self-talk and building a mindset rooted in belief ensures that you stay focused and motivated even on the most difficult days. Consistency equals control, because the more consistent you are, the more you take command of your life, your actions, and your results. When you commit to showing up day after day, no matter the circumstances, you begin to build a predictable path toward your goals. You stop relying on external factors like motivation, timing, or luck, and instead focus on what you can control: your daily habits and actions. Consistency allows you to shape your environment and your progress in a way that works for you, giving you the freedom to create the life you want. Think about it: when you consistently work towards something, you gain a level of control that others who only act sporadically or impulsively don't have. Whether it's your health, your career, or your personal growth, consistency means that your efforts are steady, measured, and deliberate. You're not waiting for the perfect moment or the next big opportunity. You are creating those opportunities through your consistent effort. Over time, this builds momentum that carries you forward, allowing you to navigate challenges and setbacks with greater ease because you're always in motion. The beauty of consistency is that it eliminates uncertainty. Instead of questioning whether you will succeed, you know that if you stay consistent, the results will follow. You gain confidence in your ability to make progress, and you no longer feel at the mercy of circumstances. Consistency puts you in the driver's seat, giving you control over your actions and ultimately your future. Remember, success isn't reserved for the lucky few or the ones who have everything figured out. It's built by those who show up day after day with relentless consistency. It's in the small actions, the quiet discipline, and the mental toughness to push through resistance. The more you commit to this process, the more control you gain over your life, your results, and your future. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make the decision right now to be consistent, to take charge of your journey, and to trust that every step you take will lead you to the success you deserve. The power is in your hands. Embrace it and never stop moving forward.